you love it enough to leave it? Just like that little man there on the corner. What he's waiting for, I don't know. Oh, but he waits every day now, waiting for something to show. Oh, who's the lonely man there on the corner? What he's waiting for, I don't know. But he waits every day now, he's just waiting for something to show. Oh, now who's the lonely man there on the corner? What he's waiting for, I don't know. But he waits every day now, he's just waiting for that something to show. Oh.
Putting the Earth, Wind and Fire horn section into No Reply at All, for example, I mean, that was the first time that you've used outside musicians since your very first album, isn't it?
It was beginning to be the 11th hour, you know. We hadn't... I kept talking about it and nothing solid was happening. And I suggested doing it, and I think Tony quite rightly had some reservations about whether, A, we wanted... If there was nothing we could do ourselves, to, you know, like we did on Behind the Lines and Turn It On Again, we actually duplicated or simulated a horn sound for those tunes. Why couldn't we do that? Also, reservation that we might end up sounding not like us, a bit like Earth, Wind and Fire. So rather than bring them all over there, I think Mike picked up a bit on the energy. And so we, you know, I put me money where my mouth was, in a way, and sort of we arranged a studio, got the guys, went over to Los Angeles and put the two tunes on the tape and said, this is what we want you to do. And their arranger, THOMPSON, went away, came back with it on paper, and we all sat round and they recorded it, and we changed a few things that we didn't like, you know, or didn't fit, or we thought could be better. But you know, it was one of those things. I think we all liked the aspect of it. It was a big move for us because it was the first time anybody else had played on our albums since Genesis to Revelation, right?
That's right. It brings a new life to the Genesis trademarks as well, doesn't it? Because the trademarks are all still there if you look for them.
I mean, I think No Reply is a good example of a song that has got a new sort of dimension in it with the horns, yet it still sounds very Genesis-y, which is, I think, is a good example of how other instruments can work.
It's all a question of what you concentrate on in a song. I mean, everyone, you know, particularly over in the States, talk about No Reply as being nothing like anything else we've done a lot and things. But really, from my own point of view, I mean, what I'm playing is there's a lot of relationship to what I played on the song The Lamb Lies on Broadway, in the sense it's the same cross-hand technique. And, you know, and I think it's really just you put the brass on and everyone thinks, it's that kind of song, right? So now we'll call it rhythm and blues or something, you know. And so it becomes that. Whereas if we hadn't put the brass on, we've maybe sort of done it a little bit differently. No one would have said that.
It's just one little step towards taking people off automatic pilot, you know, because they do tend to put us in one area, and which we're not afraid to be in, but at the same time we are also in lots of other areas, you know. And you know, they'd love to think of you over there, and Earth, Wind and Fire over there, and you know, Devo there or whatever. And in fact, there's you know, we're not particularly any one particular thing, which sounds pretty aimless, but I mean we're not. You know, we're all writers. Now I can hold my hand up high and say I'm a writer too. We're all writers, and sort of therefore write all different types of music, really. And it's I don't think it was trying to get out of that sort of the mould that people tend to put us in. And I think it's happening more nowadays anyway, because we've got a younger audience who are, I suppose, more open to accept more things than our older audience.
It's just because they don't know them as much as anything else. They don't have the preconceived ideas. The first thing a lot of our audience has heard by us in the States is misunderstanding. So they got a different preconception about the group. Okay, and a lot of them probably went out and bought the album and discovered that we had, you know, more range than one song. But nevertheless, I mean, they start off with a different kind of preconceived idea, and I think it's very important, you know, that we are able to do that and to, you know, give a different feel.
Do you like that, the fact that you're getting a new audience in?
Well, as long as you know, I like
to go back as far as The Lamb.
Yes, that doesn't. I mean, I think that's good. I think it's good. Also, hopefully, you keep some people, old people as well. I know some people who think this album is our best album since things like The Lamb in many ways, because because it is a very positive album, and we seem to know, you know, I don't know, we felt very confident about this album, more confident, in my opinion. I felt more confident about this album than the last two, definitely. And I think in a way that a fan who kind of has liked most of what we've done in the past is still going to like this, because after it's our own taste. We've still got our own judgment. That's the only filter it's going through.
It's going against the general trend, though, because when you've been around as a band for a decade or more, bands tend to harden, their arteries tend to harden, if you like, as they go on. Whereas you've, as it were, broken out.
We've been fortunate with these changes, you know. I mean, the changes obviously within the group has really made us not feel like we've been around for about 10 years, to be honest. I mean, I reckon the group. Again, it's all different. I mean, we're all in this for different reasons, in a way, I guess, because we only ever find out what the other person's reasons are when we do interviews with the three of us. But I mean, I consider this to be a different group from even the one that did Duke, you know, just because of the attitudes. And maybe I'm wrong, but the attitudes within ourselves of
how do you feel
my observation. I just feel,
over the last album.
Well, I mean, obviously,
just between Duke and.
To be honest, I'm so glad the way we're doing things now. You know, we know with our own place, our attitudes towards each other, our attitudes towards how the music is written and recorded.
We work. I mean, in the studio, I really think it's not easy to produce. Three of you produce yourselves, but it works very well. There's no sort of there are no taboo areas anymore.